Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me because today is July 9th, 2026, which means we are literally one day away from one of the most fascinating football matches of the entire year. We're previewing tomorrow's Titanic World Cup quarterfinal clash between two absolute European heavyweights, Spain and Belgium. The stage is set at the breathtaking Los Angeles Stadium. You probably know it as SoFi Stadium, where over 70,000 roaring fans are going to pack the stands. The stakes absolutely could not be higher. 90 minutes, maybe extra time and penalties, all to keep a World Cup dream alive and book a ticket to the semifinals.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, setting the World Cup stage. Second, Spain's flawless defensive fortress. Third, Belgium's attacking revival. Fourth, a century of rivalry. Fifth, tactics. And finally, predictions.
Section 1, setting the World Cup stage, the final 8.
You know, this 2026 edition has been an absolute marathon. We started with a historic 48 nations weeks ago, but now, that number tells the whole story. Only 8 remain. It's the brutal, unforgiving reality of knockout football. You win, and you advance to face either France or Morocco. You lose, and you're packing your bags. Being part of this Final 8 makes Friday's high noon showdown in Los Angeles an incredibly exclusive, high-stakes battle.
Section 2, Spain's flawless defensive fortress, the immovable object.
So let's talk about Spain. They are the reigning European champions, and they are riding an unbelievable 35-match unbeaten streak across all competitions right now. But you know what's really driving their success at this specific tournament? 0. That is exactly how many goals Spain has conceded across their 5 matches so far. 5 consecutive clean sheets. From their opening draw against Cape Verde, right through that incredibly tense 1-0 victory over Portugal in the round of 16, absolutely nobody has been able to break through their defensive wall.
And the stats just get crazier. 609. Now, what's really interesting about this is that it represents the number of consecutive minutes Spain's goalkeeper, Unai Simon, has gone without giving up a single goal. We're talking over 10 hours of tournament football. It's a genuine World Cup record. And honestly, it's not just luck. Spain's expected goals against, or XGA, is sitting at a ridiculously low 0.30 per game. They are structurally preventing high-quality scoring chances from even existing. So who is actually building this Spanish juggernaut? Well, down at the base, you have Ballon d'Or winner Rodri acting as the absolute engine of the team. Behind him, Aymeric Laporte and the brilliant youngster Pau Cubarsí are locking things down in the center like a vault. Up front, Mikel is quietly putting away goals with ruthless efficiency. He's got 4 already. And then you have teenage sensation Lamine Yamal, who is just pure chaos on the right wing, ready to break a game open in a split second. Oh, and with Nico likely managing an adductor injury, Alex Baena is expected to step in and complete this terrifyingly calculated lineup.
Section 3, Belgium's thrilling attacking revival, the unstoppable force. Now, if Spain is calm and calculated, Belgium is just pure electricity. The Red Devils are fielding their famous golden generation, and they're carrying their own massive 18-match unbeaten streak. But man, their path here has been a wild, emotional roller coaster. They started out with really underwhelming draws against Egypt and Iran. People were genuinely writing them off. Then, against Senegal, they were down 2-0 before pulling off this dramatic 3-2 extra-time comeback. That completely lit a fire. By the round of 16 against the USA, coach Rudi Garcia made a brilliant tactical gamble, unleashing Charles de Ketelaere centrally. The result? An explosive 4-1 thrashing that put the whole tournament on notice.
Belgium's revitalized attack is built around some truly world-class talent. Kevin De Bruyne is still the ultimate creative fulcrum, with that rare ability to completely shatter a defensive line with one pass. Charles de Ketelaere is clearly the breakout central striker of their campaign, and Romelu Lukaku provides a historic, battle-tested scoring threat right off the bench. But there is a massive catch. Amadou Onana, their crucial defensive midfielder, has been ruled out of the tournament with a devastating ACL injury. This is a severe tactical headache. Losing your primary midfield enforcer right before facing a Spanish team that dominates possession, that is a monumental blow.
Section 4, a century of rivalry, breaking the deadlock.
You have to remember, this matchup isn't just about current form. It's the next chapter in a deep historical rivalry that goes all the way back to 1921. Overall, Spain absolutely dominates the record. They have 12 wins to Belgium's 5, and they've outscored them by a shocking 13-1 in their last 5 meetings across all competitions. But on the grandest stage of them all, the World Cup, it is perfectly deadlocked at 1 win apiece. Tomorrow is the ultimate tiebreaker. And for Belgium, that one World Cup win is the stuff of legend. The current squad is drawing direct inspiration from their 1986 team. In that tournament, at this exact same quarterfinal stage, Belgium faced Spain and emerged victorious in a nerve-shredding 5-4 penalty shootout. They know Spain can be beaten when the pressure is highest because their predecessors did it 4 decades ago.
Section 5, Tactics. Immovable meets unstoppable.
Let's move on and see how this builds tactically, because this is a football purist's absolute dream. Spain's suffocating 4-3-3 possession control going head-to-head against Belgium's rapid 4-2-3-1 transitions. And it all comes down to individual duels, right? In the center of the park, Spain's Rodri is going to try to exert total control and smother Belgium's transitions before they even start. His direct foil is De Bruyne, looking for those pockets of space to execute creative, line-breaking passes. But the most dangerous duel? It might be out wide. Spain's Yamal loves to cut inside onto his lethal left foot. He'll be running directly at Belgium's left back, Maxime de Cooper, a player analysts have specifically flagged as a potential vulnerability.
Which brings us to the biggest tactical question mark of the game, the missing shield. Because Amadou Onana is injured, Youri Tielemans is likely going to be forced to drop back into a deeper double pivot role alongside Hans van Aken. Now, Tielemans is a fantastic player, but asking him to replicate Onana's defensive destruction against Spain's elite passing mechanics, having to deal with players like Pedri and Dani Olmo probing those half spaces, that creates a very real, highly exploitable vulnerability for the Red Devils.
Section 6, Predictions. Who will advance?
We've talked history, we've talked tactics, but what does the cold, hard data say? And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what the predictive models are thinking. The Opta supercomputer ran a staggering 25,000 simulations of this match. The results? Spain is the clear favorite to win in normal time, coming out on top in 59.3% of the simulations. A draw in 90 minutes sits at 22.4%, while a Belgium victory in normal time is given just an 18.3% probability.
When you expand that model to factor in the possibilities of extra time and penalty shootouts, Spain's overall probability to advance to the semifinal rises to nearly 70%, 69.5% to be exact. Plus, the betting markets are heavily favoring an under 2.5 goals outcome. And I mean, why wouldn't they? Spain hasn't given up a single goal all tournament. The data essentially expects Spain to patiently suffocate Belgium and grind out a highly controlled victory.
But look, as we all know, football is not played on a spreadsheet. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Will Spain's flawless historic defensive wall hold firm, or can Belgium's unstoppable revitalized attack script another massive World Cup upset? We are going to find out tomorrow on the pitch in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Enjoy the match, and I'll catch you next time.